Okay, Shalom Israel. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect. It's going to be a World War III update. I might title it Wars and Rumors of Wars. Okay, and this goes out for the elect, as I said. Shalom to the elect. And just the warn brothers or the admonish brothers to stay on point, man. All right, because we in a time of war, man. And we end in the year of 2018. All right, to where it's the end of the year where prophecy, the end Salakia, the end of the year, which this year was coined the year of prophecy. And we know the Most High, man. We know he likes to go out with a bang, man. All right. So I just found a few articles. One being this one right here. It says best New Year's gift to Russia. Putin boasts successful test of Vanguard hypersonic glider. And mind you, this came out December 26th, which is yesterday. All right. And as I was reading this, I was thinking of how you got a lot of Jake, man. They in this Christmas, New Year's spirit. They in this jolly spirit when all these things are happening around the world. Okay, there's protests all around the world, man. I was just reading. It's a protest over there in Tunisia. It's a protest, of course, we know in France. All right, it was protests brewing up over there in I believe it was Pakistan, if I'm not mistaken. All right, countless articles coming out about the chip. All right, you have at the same time to where this government shutdown, to where 25% of the government is shut down. And Trump is saying now, he's saying that he's not going to make a move until they build this wall. So who knows how long that could last, man. And the longer it lasts, the more things has to get shut down, man. Until what? The bare essentials. Okay. So it says, reading on, it says the Russian Defense Ministry has conducted the final successful tests of the Vanguard hypersonic glider before its entry into service. Russian President Vladimir Putin announced the weapon will be deployed in 2019, he added. A hypersonic glider is a special type of warhead which can fly through the atmosphere at high speeds. This extends the range of a missile, potentially increases accuracy, and makes defending against it harder through unexpected maneuvers. But prolonged controlled flight requires special protection of the glider from heat and shock produced at hypersonic speeds. China, the US, and Russia are considered the most advanced nations in the relevant technologies, and Moscow claims it is winning the race with the Vanguard project. All right. And as I read that, it makes me think of while I was reading that, and I was looking up this other article right here where it says Venezuela gets the Russian hug. And it says oil. This article, I'm gonna just read a little bit of this. Because like I said, as I was reading this article, I was thinking of Russia and the Vanguard, and right now Russia's not playing. And they still feel disrespected to Trump accusing them of going against the IMF treaty, the Intermediate Ballistic Missile Treaty, to where they know the U.S. has actually, they were the first to renege on the treaty, if you will. Because they got NATO all around over there near Russia, man, and Ukraine, in that area. All right. So here it is. I feel like at the same time, Putin is starting to step up. He's, as is written of in Ezekiel 38, how the Most High is putting the hooks back in Putin's jaws. Back in Russia's jaws. All right. So what's happening now, which I see through the spirit, is Putin is using Venezuela. All right, as a retaliation, man. I read an article maybe about a month ago to where They were actually thinking about opening up the missile site over there in Cuba, which is even closer to America, and with that advance guard, hey, they could shoot missiles over here anytime, man. All right. Hey, so hey, we in that time, man. So it says Venezuela gets the Russian bear hug. Oil is the only thing that keeps Venezuela's economy afloat, and guess who's gotten their hands on it? Yep, the Russians. And alongside them, the Chinese, who are taking the earnings. It says in exchange for modest loans and bailouts over the past decade, Russia now owns significant parts of at least 5 oil fields in Venezuela, which holds the world's largest reserve, along with 30 years worth of future output from 2 Caribbean natural gas fields. Venezuela also has signed over 49.9% of Citgo, its wholly owned company in the United States, including 3 Gulf Coast refineries and a countrywide web of pipelines, as collateral to Russia's state-owned Rosneft oil behemoth for a reported 1.5 billion in desperately needed cash. So it's like, I'm gonna read on. It says Russian advisors are inside the Venezuela government, helping direct the course of President Nicolas Maduro attempts to bring his failing government back from bankruptcy. So what a grand time for Russia to go over there, man. Which through the spirit, I was talking to the brother, the leader of the camp. We was chopping it up, and you could tell this thing is staged, man. Cause here it is. Russia been knew about Venezuela's downfall, but why did they just come now? All right, which we understand that this whole thing is staged, really. Through the elites that rule this whole earth. But my point being is it's still through the spirit, man. Is that at this point in time that they will go over there, man. All right, like I said, you have all these events happening, and now Russia wants to go over there to Venezuela. All right, so we see what comes out of that. All right, now let's get some precepts. Don't want to do too much talking. Ezekiel chapter 38. This the Russia scripture, if you will. And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith Yahweh power, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Now, these horses and horsemen, as written of in Joel 2, are the ICBM nuclear missiles. Okay, let's grab that actually real quick. This is Joel chapter 2, verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yahweh cometh, for it is nigh at hand. Which is when we go out there and blow the trumpet, week in and week out, day in and day out. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people and a strong, there have not been ever the like, neither shall be any after it, even to the years of many generations. Because this feud of mainly Russia and China, because as we just read, those are the bigger the nations with the biggest nuclear arsenals. So basically what's going to happen is that the US and their allies and Russia and their allies, which the US is losing allies to Russia, they're going to go down to the Valley of Jehoshaphat and fight in the Third World War. And that's going to be the end of that. And that's going to be the end of really Esau's rulership. to where Israel, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are going to be on top forever and into forever. All right, according to Daniel's 7th chapter. This is a fire devoureth before them, going into the nuclear missiles, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as a garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness, yea, and nothing shall escape them. Jumping down, it says, jumping down to verse 7, they shall run like mighty men, they shall climb the wall like men of war, they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. You know, meaning when those nuclear missiles are launched, you know, because now they just, you know, as you see, they just strutting they power, so to speak. But soon it's going to be no more playing around. All right? Soon it's going to be no more playing around. And when those nuclear buttons are sent, they're not going to return. Okay? When those nuclear missiles are sent, they're not going to return, man. These are the weapons of the Lord. Okay? So let's go back to Ezekiel 38 and 4. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Okay? So, let me actually jump to the point I was saying on a lot to get to this point in Ezekiel 38 and verse 10. Thus saith Yahweh power, and it shall come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. You know, so at the same time, you know, the Most High is gearing Russia up for war. All right, they're gonna think an evil thought, and which is, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates. Hey, so that's beautiful, man. Which is why I believe, hey, this is a beautiful time that we living in. Let me read that again. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages, which is America. All right? Because when you go into the ancient world, you will put walls around your villages to defend it from invading armies. All right? To defend it from adversaries. Now, you know, what in this day and age, okay, the walls, so to speak, would be the nuclear defense missile systems, nuclear defense missile systems. And one thing about that advanced guard, all right, is that it makes it hard to detect. You know, it makes it hard to detect. Now it goes on to say, I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely. All right, what you Americans dwell safely. You know, when you tell these Americans, you know, that their precious America is about to get touched by ICBMs, you know, they say America has the most nuclear missiles. Nobody's going to touch us. So they feel like they dwell safely, you know. So this is why, you know, it's well, I'm gonna grab that too. But it says, so I can read again. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely. You know, and you know, a lot of these people are at rest. They're in this merry, jolly spirit. You know, a lot of the kids, you know, don't have school. You know, is at this point in time too. You have a lot of people who are, you know, they probably getting a lot of overtime. You know, so they're just at rest, man. And all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates, to take a spoil and to take a prey, to turn thy hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, which have gotten cattle and goods that dwell in the midst of the land. You know, so we in some beautiful times, man. We in some beautiful times. This is 1 Thessalonians 5:1. It says, "But of the times and seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For while they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them." Okay? So going back to I just read in Ezekiel 38, man, to where why they say peace and safety, you know, when in this jolly spirit, not knowing the grave danger they're in, Like I said, at the same time where Russia's over there in Venezuela, all right next to America, not too far, and Russia's already pissed that America, bailed out on the IMF. All right, so hey, anything can happen, man. At this point in time, this is the climax of the movie, if you will. Hey, the chip is coming out, being pushed. That's all. That's really all we're waiting for, man. The chip in World War III. Okay, in the midst, of course, you're gonna have martial law, which that's soon to come, I believe, through the spirit. You had over it was a yellow vest uprising, or yeah, it was, I guess you can call it a yellow vest uprising over there in California, to where there was an address that came out to where they're tired of the government and their BS. All right, so just like over there in France, they getting ready, start rioting and stuff. Oh, they call it a protest, but every protest turns into a riot, a violent one at that, which could lead to martial law. All right, false flags attacks. But who knows? They may just blame it on Russia. Who knows? All right, so it says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day shall overtake you as a thief." It says, "Ye are all children of light, and the children of the day. We are not of the night, nor of darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober." So it's just, a little quick World War III update. With that, I want to say shalom.